Hi guys, I just wanted to pop up here because um, I've got some things I need to share with you. Um, there's a dream that I had back April 30th, 2021, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of talking low. It's because it's like 2:30 in the morning right now, but I knew that if I didn't record this video now that I probably wouldn't be able to do it anytime soon. But I had a dream at some point that night or early morning, and the dream kind of had like the first part of the dream was really short. So my husband and I were in the car, and I looked out the window and saw it was nighttime, and I looked out the window and saw a full moon. It was a big white moon, and I was trying to take a picture of it through my window. And every time I would take the picture and then look at my phone to see did it turn out or not, it was really weird because when I looked at the moon, I could see it, big moon in the sky, but when I looked at my picture that I had taken, there was either like really tall grass or like maybe some kind of crop, maybe corn or something like that, um, covering over the moon. So I could like see the moon through the grass or crops or whatever. But when I was looking at the moon directly, it was just the moon. But then when I would look at it on my phone, after taking the picture, it was like covered over by these crops. So it was almost like this grass or this like crops or something was like all of a sudden, after I would take the picture and I'd look at it, it was like it was really tall, so that it was covering my view of the moon. Okay, so that was the first part of the dream. I think I did it. I think I took it like 3 pictures, and then I remember in the dream I was getting frustrated, and so then in the next part of the dream, I was also in the car with my husband, but it was different because this time we were driving way out in the country to go get a really good view of the blood moon. So this was like a whole different moon than the first moon. And again, I was hoping to get some pictures of it, which I like to take pictures of stuff. And so my husband was taking me out to go, in the dream, he was taking me out to go see this blood moon. And the place that we were at is like, it looked a lot like places around here where we moved. And it was kind of just out in the country, and it was dark outside. Excuse me. And what was I saying? Oh, it was dark outside, and anyway, so there was a turn. We had the GPS on. We were going to some location to do this, and we were supposed to take a left turn. Well, my husband accidentally passed the turn, and when he passed the turn, I got a good look down the road we were supposed to turn on, and on either side of the road there was a little bit of snow. And I remember in the dream I said, "That's weird, there's snow on the ground over there," even though everything else was like green. So he backed up and we turned down that road, and we passed some snow banks, not really snowbanks. It wasn't like big. It was just a couple of inches worth, but it was on the ground, and we passed it, and then we pulled into this place, I guess wherever we were supposed to be going. And we pulled into this like gravel parking lot, and there was a few other cars there, and I got out of the car. And I remember actually on our way down the road to park, I remember I saw the moon. I saw the blood moon. It was huge. It looked like exaggerated in the sky. It was like a rusty red color. And I remember just being like amazed. I thought it was so beautiful, and I couldn't wait to go get pictures outside of the car. And so anyway, when we pulled up in this gravel parking lot, there was a few other cars, and I got out of the car and I walked around the front to this like sidewalk. And I remember when I got out of the car, it was cold. And I remember contemplating in the dream, like just saying, you know what, I didn't dress for this. I didn't expect it to be cold, and I'm just going back to the car. But I didn't. I actually kept going. And then my husband got out of the car, and there was one spot where I stepped on the grass, and I remember in the dream, taking note in the dream, so this is important, that the grass crunched beneath my feet. The grass was a little bit long, and it crunched beneath my feet like it had been like hardened with frost. It was freezing. And so there's been a lot of references to it being cold. And as we were walking down the sidewalk towards the moon view area, like we were heading towards this like field, and the moon was like directly above in front, like lined up with it. So we were going to take some pictures there. But there were people walking back to their cars, and I didn't see it, but I was under the impression that they had just come from some kind of like ticket booth, and they were all really disappointed. So I remember a woman saying something about she was upset because she came out there and whatever it was closed. The booth was closed or something. And I got the impression that it was like some kind of corn maze or something. And that would kind of fit with the first part of the dream, but I don't know. Anyway, but all I know is that these people were leaving, so we ended up being one of the few people left. We walked across this field. There was like 2 other girls there taking pictures, and there was water in front of us, and I looked up at the sky. The moon was like directly in front of my face, but like up. And so I was looking up at the moon, and I put my phone up, and I was gonna take a picture, and then something happened. So I had my phone up, and then all of a sudden the moon went from like midway up in the sky to it disappeared, and I was watching it slowly come up from the horizon. Like, it didn't seem weird in the dream, it just seemed normal. But so you can't think of it like with a normal, logic. But anyway, so I was watching it start to rise, and as it was rising, I was so excited because I was getting all these photos of it coming up, and it was beautiful. And it got a little ways up in the sky, and then it disappeared again. This time it started to rise again, but there was now this yellow like, okay, I don't know how to explain it very good, but there was like a yellow line in the sky that was like just going right up the middle of the sky, and the moon was starting to rise and follow that line. And the moon started to rise, and then it would disappear, and then it would start rising again, and then it would get up high and it would disappear. It was almost like I was seeing someone pulling like a moon around a globe, but there was no sun. I wasn't watching the sun. The focal point of the dream was not on the sun. So it never became daylight. It stayed dark. But this blood moon kept rising and disappearing, and it was like, the point wasn't that it kept disappearing. The point was, and every single time it would come up faster and faster and faster. And in the dream, I was trying to take pictures of it. And it got to the point where I couldn't even take a picture of it because it was going so fast. So it was just like, boom, it just got faster and faster and faster and faster. And eventually I couldn't take a picture at all. And then the next thing I know, I'm in some room. The dream totally changed. I'm in a room. I don't know anything about the room. That wasn't like, the point wasn't where I was. The point was that I was looking at a wall. And on the wall there was a clock. And the minute hand was on 12. And the focal point was the hour hand. The hour hand on the clock was somewhere, I think, around 10. And it was just moving. So like, if it was it'll be backwards, I think, but it was like at 10, and it was moving like this, like it just went up to the 12. And I was staring at it, and I was watching it, and I just had like this understanding in the dream that it was like, okay, we're so like, we're at the end, this is it. When it reaches 12, something's about to happen. When it reaches midnight, something's gonna happen. And I kept wondering in my dream, is Jesus gonna come back when it reaches 12? I don't know. And what's gonna happen, And I saw it hit 12. The clock moved from 10 p.m. to midnight. And when it reached the midnight, I woke up. So that was my dream. And I know this video is already getting long, but I do want to say, I don't fully understand this dream, but I do know that I do know that part of it is about time speeding up, like in the sense that a lot of stuff is about to happen, and time is running out, and this is it. It's like the kickoff moment. And by the way, Israel just turned, 73 years old. So that's pretty interesting that they just had their 73rd birthday. And we know from scripture that a generation is 70 to 80 years. So I just find that very interesting, that my dream about these moons, which it all kind of indicated like fall time and things kicking off, in the fall, or even with this blood moon. I don't know. We've got a blood moon this month, so I don't know. And I'm not saying something's going to happen this month or in the fall for sure. I just don't know. I am not a prophet, okay? I don't claim to be, I'm not a prophet that I could tell you any of this stuff. Like, as a matter of fact, it's just a dream that the Lord gave me, and that's what I'm gonna say. Like, you take it to the Lord in prayer. Um, but there are some things that just seem to add up. I mean, we know that, I think it's like in the next few months, I think it's gonna be, it might have changed because it's always, the news is always changing, but last I heard, I think it was like September, children 12 and from 12 and up are going to be able to have, you know, the injection. So I don't know how long the Lord is gonna let certain things happen. Um, that's a pretty big one, and so I don't know. There's just so much going on, and take note that from what I had last heard, that's going to be starting in the fall. So, just a lot of things pointing to then. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying the rapture is going to happen this fall. I don't know that. I'm just saying I do think that I can say that stuff's about to really take off. Everything that we're seeing in Israel right now and with Hamas and everything, like, it's just, I really hope that you guys are praying for them. I really hope that you're praying for all the lost people in the nations. I hope that you are praying for those people to be saved, for protection for the children. Just so much that we need to be praying for right now. There's a lot of people hurting, and we in America, we just have this whole, like, out of sight, out of mind kind of way of thinking sometimes, and that is just, it's so wrong. But anyway, please take this dream to the Lord in prayer. It's very interesting. I have my ideas of maybe what it means, but I'm not really sure. I just know that it's important and I needed to share it. So, thanks for watching my video and have a great night. Bye.